What's up, folks? You are tuned into the Failing Frequency. I am Ethan.
And I'm Mike.
And we are beaming the latest in Star Trek news and entertainment directly into your subs-to-base relay networks. Right up in them. Right inside them.
Right into you.
Right up into you. How you doing, Mike?
Yeah, I'm surviving, mate. I'm surviving. I'm pulling through the days. I'm telling people to fuck off. It's great.
Yeah, man.
How about yourself?
I'm good, man. Chaos just kind of swirls all around me. In my various workplaces, and I remain untouched by all of it.
Perfect.
In hospitality, there's an old saying: "You can't be in the weeds if you don't give a fuck."
Sounds good to me.
We got some news to get through this week. Whole bunch of stuff. When I started the day, I thought there's not been that much Trek related stuff, but turns out that's not true.
No.
So a few bits to get to, and then we've got the latest episode of Lower Decks.
The least dangerous game. Time codes below if you're skipping through to that. But first, on to news, I suppose.
Yeah, man. So first bit of news actually dropped while we were recording last week. So that's why we're going to get it out of the way first. Mike, what do you reckon Denise Crosby confirming that she's going to be in Star Trek Picard Season 3?
I think we already knew she was going to be in Season 3, but it was saying that she was going to be Tasha Yar, or hinting that she was going to be Tasha Yar.
Yeah, there's a very kind of a convoluted thing here. So this was at the 56-year mission, the Star Trek convention in Las Vegas that happened last week. Yeah, man, the place with the Trip and Read karaoke and
all that highlight
and Laurel's Klingon yoga.
Yeah.
But there was a few panels, and Denise Crosby spoke at one and said, it's sorry, I'm seeing all kinds of different silly quotes. I don't want to give too much away, but I'm going to tell you that you will see Tasha Yar, but I'm not going to tell you how. You've just got to watch. What? I think she might have maybe said a bit too much.
She said too much, really.
I think she's maybe said a bit too much and then tried to walk it back.
Because I think when this season got announced and it was going to be a female villain, and a load of people went, "Oh, it's going to be Seela, man. It's going to be Seela," because, she's still like hanging out there in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And if they just said Denise Crosby was
spilled
back,
beer on myself. Don't cut it out. Leave it in. Zoom into it.
I'll zoom down. Zoom down.
Show everyone how gross I am. I am very gross.
Gross all over. But yeah, and if they just said, "Oh, Denise Crosby's back," and just left it at that, it would have been, "Oh man, Seela." And to be fair, it could still be Seela.
Yeah.
But it really narrows down stuff if you're saying, "Oh, Tasha Yar's back."
Yeah, really does. I do think that's what's happened. She's maybe done a bit of a Tom Holland. She's maybe said a bit too much, and then she's gone. But you'll see. Oh yeah, you'll see Tasha. But I'm not going to tell you how. Yeah. Ooh, it might be a dream.
I mean, it's not like All Good Things where she can just pretend to be Tasha Yar in 1988.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's de-aging, or it's alternate universe, or it is what happened when she got sent back to the past. There's three options for it, really. And does it matter which?
Maybe she's the Prophets.
Ooh, we can go into that weird white space.
Maybe she's the Prophets. Honestly, all in all, like a lot of the news coming out of 56-year mission has been kind of it's a bit meh. I'm disappointed. Like, this is a bit of a spoiler. There are no sordid stories of Las Vegas debauchery coming up.
No. I would have preferred no news about the upcoming shows. I don't need to know that Tasha Yar's back. I would have rather been surprised by Tasha Yar. The same way last season I thought we were going to be surprised by Cisco. Like episode 2 where it says on like Seven's like bored. Oh, General Cisco. I was like, oh man, you're building us up here now. It's Chekhov Cisco. Fire that gun. And then they never did. If it would be in the same with Tasha Yar, great.
Could have just had his voice.
Yeah.
God, how much would people have gone mental if they just heard Avery Brooks's voice over a comm on Star Trek Picard?
Imagine though, he would have been like Monday Jazz wired up Avery Brooks. So while he's trying to be a general, rather than overacting like he does in the Mirror Universe or anything like that, he'd be like, capturing stuff.
We've dealt with the rebels.
He's just playing a piano in front of him. It's like jazz. Catching rebels is like jazz.
Next bit of news. IDW have released some stuff for issue 1 of Star Trek Picard Stargazer, the comic book tie-in series. Mm-hmm. And there's a very interesting detail going on here. So 7 of 9 is in Starfleet uniform with the rank of commander.
Thought. Yeah.
And is wearing a gold uniform, the gold uniform of operations, engineering, and security. What do we reckon of that?
7 would be a good fit for engineering or security.
Operations. I could see a 7 of 9 in Data's chair.
Yeah, her place on the Voyager bridge, like right behind. They didn't have a seat for her because she couldn't sit down in that catsuit.
Which is like, where can we fit an iPad?
Yeah.
Here.
Was pretty much operations anyway.
Yeah,
that's why Garrett Wang got less and less to do.
Obviously, her role was astrometrics. So, I always said that it would have been cool if in the last series of Voyager they brought in the first contact era uniforms with the grey shoulders and the coloured undershirt. 7, as in astrometrics, she would have been wearing blue.
Yeah,
she would have been wearing the blue of science. But obviously, in this, she's a commander. Blue. Yeah, when she did some time travel shenanigans.
Yeah, it's not like it didn't suit her.
No, but yellow operations. I can see her kind of working through there because she is efficient. Like Data.
Yeah.
Operations is a good route to command.
For all we know, she could have been like Lower Decks Rutherford did in season 1 or season 2, where he went through all the different roles, all the divisions to like train up quicker.
Probably, or I'm thinking more like with Mariner in season 1 when she got promoted briefly as like to learn a lesson.
Yeah,
to learn a lesson, and she got put in gold.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some light news. Jack Quaid has confirmed that for the Strange New Worlds Lower Decks live action crossover, he will have purple hair.
Yep.
Yeah, they've had like proper tailored uniforms. He's got purple hair. He says that he's tried to work some of his expressions and some of like his movements that he has in Lower Decks. Into his performance. How do you think that's going to work out?
The movements, probably not great. Everyone should understand animation is probably overly animated. The characters are overly animated in it.
A bit of that. Do you reckon there's going to be any of that?
Oh man, you could appear on like one of these weird foot fetish websites now.
Oh yes. Mate.
The dream.
I hope so.
But he was on stage. Was it the Vegas one or was it, I don't know, the one before that, where he had on a purple wig and he was wearing a makeshift.
They were all wearing it. Yeah, they looked like they were having fun.
Yeah, so it'll look fun and looking forward to it.
Heck yeah,
yeah.
Just more examples of that thing I love of embracing the camp.
Yeah,
good stuff.
The 2 best shows currently coming together.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So it's been announced that the director that was signed on for the 4th movie in the Star Trek Kelvin timeline franchise. Matt Shackman has stepped away from the project. Sad news. Are you surprised, Mike?
No. You'll notice how quickly that came out. If anyone, anywhere, is surprised that Star Trek 4 is getting delayed,
you haven't been paying attention.
You haven't been paying attention. They are, as of last month, they were still saying it was going to come out in 2023, but they had no scripts to the actors.
No fucking way.
The director has now gone off to do Fantastic Four at Marvel, I believe, is why he's left.
Yeah. Obviously, Matt Shackman, made WandaVision, which was fantastic. And, he has a background of working in TV and stuff. Would have been in another universe, in another timeline, in a Kelvin timeline of this timeline. He would have made a great director, a great choice for this project.
Especially as someone for WandaVision understanding like different eras of television. Having someone understand different eras of Star Trek would have been great.
Mm-hmm.
But alas, the movie's not going to be made anyway. So
no, it's not happening.
Why still be a director of a movie that's not going to get made?
Yeah, we're like honestly, it's just so not going to happen.
No.
No one wants it. No one wants to have it. No one wants to see it, and no one wants to make it.
Yeah. I tell you what, if a Star Trek 4 movie comes out in 2023 in that Kelvin timeline, I will order online a kangaroo bollock and eat it on stream.
Yeah.
That's how confident I am that nothing is going to happen on this.
Star Trek 2 is coming out in cinemas, though. That's a film that's happening.
And this is Star Trek 2, the actual Star Trek 2, Wrath of Khan.
Yeah, they're making Star Trek 2 again.
Yeah.
So,
remakes on other stuff.
Yeah, so coming from sources all over the shop, mostly from wherever you can buy cinema tickets, Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan is getting a cheeky little re-release in cinemas.
Yeah.
Fully restored. Like, is it a director's cut? I believe it is.
It's director's cut.
It's a director's cut. It's in 4K. It's gonna look fit. It's gonna look like it was filmed yesterday. Yeah, it's gonna be good. You said something about £3 cinema ticket day to me earlier. What's this?
Yeah, so in a number of countries across the world, Saturday this weekend, Saturday the 3rd. Yeah, 3rd. It is World Cinema Day, which means a load of cinemas across the Western world are doing cinema tickets for £3 or $3, plus probably £1 for booking fee because they're all bastards. This coincides with Wrath of Khan, so I'm seeing Wrath of Khan for £4 this weekend.
I might have to do this. I think I might have to.
It's well worth it, man. £4 for seeing it in the cinema.
So more news from Star Trek Las Vegas, but on a panel that featured John Billingsley, Dr. Phlox, Connor Trenier or Trip from Enterprise, Dominic Keating, Malcolm Reed, and Anthony Montgomery, Travis Mayweather. The most notable point of their conversation, apparently, because it's the only thing that I've found reported from the entire panel, when asked about during a light conversation about episodes or scenes the actors didn't enjoy filming, Montgomery got a bit more serious, saying, "If I have to be honest, I didn't like the fact that I didn't have much to do, because I'm actually pretty damn talented, if I do say so myself. Because I worked hard at it. That's not me looking for kudos. But I work hard at my craft. And I just felt like I was underutilized." So there's no one particular one. There were many scenes where I just literally go in for a day and, oh, this is all I have to say? Captain, there's an ion storm. Should we go around it? Okay, cut. I'll see you guys next week. Sounds like shit. Does suck.
I mean, he's in the front of every shot, or most of the shots on the bridge, and he just
you do a great impression. Do your impression of him. It's amazing. See, I couldn't do that because I can't sit still.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
They could have really saved money by like making an animatronic of him in the first season and like only bringing him in for a day a year.
Cardboard cutout.
Yeah.
Like just like one of those like what do you call it? A real doll. Could have just got they could have just got a Mayweather real doll. It'd just be there like
I mean,
that should be the thumbnail.
After season 1, where he just constantly talks about boomers, which is only funnier and funnier. I think the only thing of note he has is the mirror universe.
Yeah, he had a nice wig in that. He looked good in that red uniform. That man is in phenomenal shape.
Oh yeah.
Like in the scenes where he's got his shirt off, it's ridiculous.
He's the what's his name of his time? What's the doctor from Discovery? Name escapes me.
Oh, Wesley Cruz.
Yeah, Wesley Cruz of his time. Yeah.
It's just like because he does nothing except like Mayweather did nothing in the show, so it's like on the like he has no reason to be in such good shape.
Everyone else is like, oh, I'll learn my lines, and he's just like,
I'll do some push-ups. Yeah. Garrett Wang was moderating the discussion, and he responded to Anthony Montgomery saying, Anthony, I just wanted to say, I feel your pain. Shields at 30%, Captain. Okay, you're wrapped, Harry. Thank you. Yeah, man. Yeah. Mayweather got fucking Harry Kimmed.
Yeah.
He got the living shit Harry Kimmed out of him.
At least Harry Kim, he's not on screen constantly because he's kind of slightly off to the side. And it's a bigger bridge, so they've got more coverage of not looking at Harry Kim. Mayweather's in this small set where every camera has him in it.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And also, Harry Kim had the completely two-dimensional personality of being a massive dork. Mayweather didn't even get that.
No. Mayweather didn't get an instrument. Harry Kim got two.
He didn't get a personality.
No.
He got a backstory. A backstory is not the same as a personality.
He was like a proto Discovery bridge crew officer. You know, where they're just off to the side doing nothing.
Yeah. My God, we can have them, but we don't have to do anything with them.
When you say that, hopefully you mean bridge crew officers.
Yeah, bridge crew officers. Yeah. Yes. Don't. Oh God. Yeah. Moving on.
Yeah.
I didn't know about this until I just saw this, but this was apparently announced in May. Is the Roddenberry Archive recreate sets from the first Star Trek pilot, The Cage. So just looking at this story, it's saying it's going to be like an immersive experience. But they released a trailer for it, and they premiered it at Star Trek Las Vegas. They showed off a preview of the experience at the 56-year mission.
They've done 3D copies of the sets as well as physical copies. They've done 3D copies of weapons. They've brought actresses in who look like the ginger actress from The Cage and 3D scan them. You know, they're going a bit all out on this, really.
This honestly, even just these shots, like, I'm not sure how this trailer relates to it. Because, like, they're saying that they've recreated The Cage, but there's a lot of shots from the motion picture.
Yeah.
That are like, these look like they were filmed tomorrow. This looks phenomenal.
Yeah. And as you say, they seem to be building out more than just The Cage. They seem to be building out, I'm just on an article here, and they've got pictures of recreated all the ships. So up to the Enterprise J, up to, a load of the background plates for cities and stuff like that, the map paintings, so they seem to be collecting and amalgamating all this stuff.
Yeah,
always good to have an archive.
Yeah, so it's Deadline reports the project coming from Otoy Inc. Has been working with the Roddenberry estate, and there's some trailers on their YouTube channel, and there's some behind the scenes stuff. They've got some of the producers from like the Next Generation and stuff. So a lot of people that worked with Roddenberry are all involved in it. Like, oh man, I really hope this comes to the UK. Have you ever done like an interactive experience?
I've experienced things in real life.
The ultimate interactive experience.
Yes.
Life.
It's so lifelike.
Yeah, oh my god. Yeah, man. You can reach out, you can touch things, man. You can
I haven't done any VR experiences that are like entertainment based. So I
did a Honey I Shrunk the Kids like VR thing at Disneyland Paris.
Yeah.
And they sprayed you with mist and they had shit running along the floor. And I did a haunted house once. And there was one where you had to sign a waiver because it was like more hardcore. And they like put me in a coffin and like threw and like, you know, pushed me down this chute and stuff. And it like got hot. And I was kind of like laughing hysterically throughout the whole thing. And then this like mad woman like came out and like made me drink out of a piss bag. It was amazing.
It sounds incredible. It sounds not to be missed.
Yeah, man. I hope this is like that.
I'd love it if they start collecting it now. Hopefully, in 5 years' time or whenever, when we all have 3D helmets and can all step into VR, go into the Matrix or whatever, we can just go visit. Go walk around the Enterprise, because there's been fan recreations in the past of the Enterprise D, and they shut that down, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
So if they do it, why not? Where you can just go into a room and see models of people and walk around the Enterprise and see the weapons and pick them up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Be cool if they could do like you put the VR goggles on and you're in the holodeck, and then you can be like, give commands to the thing.
Yeah. You can be Riker in the Enterprise finale.
Yeah.
I want to be a chef.
Oh, yeah. The chef experience.
Yeah.
It's the fucking 75-year mission. That's their aim.
I want to be a chef, and 90% of what I want to do is talk to people about their banal lives. Great. We can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. Last bit of news. Another announcement from the 56-year mission. Nichelle Nichols' ashes headed to space. Yeah, they're gonna throw Nichelle Nichols' ashes into space.
Launch them, not just throw them.
Yeah, they're gonna launch them.
They're not gonna like bundle them up.
Yeah, they're gonna launch them from a spaceship. Yeah. The Memorial Space Flight Company Celestis Inc. announced plans to honor the late Nichelle Nichols by launching a symbolic portion of her cremated remains and a DNA sample into deep space on board its upcoming historic Enterprise flight, which launches this year on the aptly named Vulcan rocket. Pretty cool.
Yeah. I know Jimmy Doohan is up there, and I imagine like a couple of other ones are up there as well.
Yeah,
I think Gene's up there, isn't he?
We've got James Doohan, Douglas Trumbull, who was a visual effects master. It says here, visual effects master. I hope that was his like official title. Gene Roddenberry and his wife, Majel Barrett Roddenberry, all up in space. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's it for the news.
Wait, the one more for people who are interested in Star Trek comics, and maybe I'll cut this into the comic piece.
Yeah, you messaged me about this. I didn't understand what you were talking about.
So, Humble Bundle is a organization that gets it's a charity, and they group together products, whether it's games or whatever, sells them off cheap, and portion of that goes to charity. And you can they have a minimum price for whatever you have, but if you put above that, you can get more, like more goes to charity or whatever.
Cool.
So if you're desperate for Star Trek comics, If you go to Humble Bumble I'll throw it in the link below. I haven't got it, but I'm going to get it. There are 54 comics for £15. So whatever that is in your currency.
Bloody
so that's
hell.
Some Picard stuff. That's Q dealing with the Kelvin crew. There's some original series. There was the comic of First Contact. There is Discovery again. There's Khan ruling in hell. So there's a Khan comic. There's the mirror of TNG. So Buff Picard and Buff Riker.
Yeah, Buff Picard.
Yeah, cool. So there is a fair bit on there. There's Cisco. There's at least one Cisco comic I've gone past. So yeah, it's for 54 comics. You probably find one that you like for £15 or whatever your local currency is. So
yeah,
well worth it, really, I think.
That's a sweet deal.
Yeah, it'll be one. I got, they had on last month or a month, 2 months ago, all the, designing the USS Enterprise books. They had all those in a bundle for £10. And I was like, wow, for £10, Feels stupid not to get all the PDFs of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's it for the news. Was there anything else that any other clickbait shit that's been floating around?
I didn't have any more clickbait on my side.
Good.
I just had people giving their money to charity / getting comics.
Nice. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You get some comics, someone else gets like food or a vaccine or something.
Yeah. Or just help with their energy bills nowadays.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. But then if we've gone past news, we're on to Lower Decks.
On to the meat.
Onto the meat of these bones. Lower Decks, man. Season 3, Episode 2, The Least Dangerous Game. So we can do incredibly short non-spoilers and then go into spoilers. So non-spoilery, what did you like the episode?
Yeah, it was all right.
That supreme confidence, that confidence that we only get here.
Yeah, but it was all right. I preferred it to last week's episode. It wasn't so heavily reliant on references.
Yeah.
A lot more farce this episode, I like farce, I like camp, I like goofy. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. What about yourself?
Yeah, I thought it was okay. I think Lower Decks runs into trouble, or it falls into the same place sometimes where Mariner does something, has a story, an A plot, or Boimler has an A plot, and the other one has the B plot, and Tendi and Rutherford do nothing. And they're all separate, and they rush through concepts like they're going out of style. Like if they don't do something, then somebody's going to beat them to it. When there's 2 or 3 concepts in this episode which I think could have made a whole episode and been enjoyable. But yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah. I get what you mean about rushing through so many concepts. I remember the very first episode of Lower Decks was a bit of a sensory overload.
Yeah.
There was just so much happening. I was like, fucking hell, they're cramming a lot into this first episode.
Yeah. I mean, I think the A plot or the B plot of this could have been an episode and had a much shorter A or B plot or B plot for doing the rest of it. But we've got such short episodes, whereas an episode of TNG, 45 minutes or something like that, the A plot would get half an hour and the B plot would get 15 minutes. This, it's okay, we do the setup, we have that done in 2 or 3 minutes time. Then we've got the A plot, the B plot, they run at once, they both get 10 minutes time. Then we do a summary of 5 minutes and you're done, you're out. And it's okay, cool.
Yeah, and it's weird because when you look at other animated shows like Family Guy has a formula of the first 10 minutes will lead to the next 10 minutes. And then by the end of the episode, we are a million miles away from where the episode started.
Yeah.
But it's somehow has flowed.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's it is a bit cacophonous at times.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's the trouble of trying to rush an A plot, B plot in half an hour.
Yeah, but overall, I enjoyed this episode. Yeah. Spoilers.
Spoilers. Do you want me to do an episode rundown?
Do you want to sum up what happened? What did happen? Because I've only watched it once, and I had you know, a fair bit of the old snake leaf.
I have also watched it once, so you're getting somewhat off the cuff remembrance of an episode I watched once. Okay, episode summary. So the Lower Deckers are playing Klingon D&D when we're told Ransom is riding Mariner. He's trying to get her to make a mistake after we get told that he's like in charge of her last week. Boimler's jealous of an ex-Cerritos member who's been given captain after doing heroic stuff. Then the episode splits into two. We're going to do Mariner first and then go to Boimler. Mariner gets called off to repair a space elevator with Ransom, while Ransom sends Rutherford and Billings down to the surface to do mostly red shirt stuff, liaising the red shirts are doing the actual repairing. Mariner decides to skip out on Ransom, parachute down to the planet. Halfway through, Ransom apologizes. She goes back onto the platform, climbs all the way up, meets him, parachutes back down again, pretending that she never left. And they go to the planet. Billings and Rutherford are about to get thrown into a volcano for doing misdeeds on the planet. Ransom strips off, saves them. Boimler's story. Boimler gets told by Tendi that he needs to open up to more things if he wants to try and make captain. He pretty much watches the movie Yes Man, starring Jim Carrey, and starts saying yes to everything. So Springball, Bajoran Choir, and being hunted by an alien species. Oops. This alien species starts predatoring him around until he decides to stand up for himself and get speared through the chest immediately. In which case we learn that the species has a catch and release policy, and he's set free. Pretty much the end of the story.
Yay! That was good, man. That was good. They didn't need to, like, 22 minutes is too long, too short, you say. I say it's too long. They should have just got you to do it.
I mean, who needs, when I complain about them being rushed, I can rush through that quicker.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
So like we say, like, overall good episode. I liked the sort of tributes to some episodes, to some of my favorite episodes, to the stupid, sexy episodes of Star Trek where the away team goes to a sexy planet.
Yeah.
To the classic Star Trek trope of the society is being controlled by an evil computer, to the society based around the hunt. All stuff I love.
Yeah.
Not so reference heavy as in, like, look at this, here's a thing, but more like conceptual references.
Yeah. Like the hunting species. Yeah, it's a reference to Predator, but we've also got the Hirogen, and we've also got Tosk.
The Tosk. Is it the Tosk? The Tosk. I think the Tosk is we are Tosk.
We are Tosk.
Yeah. I think that, like, it was a nice episode from series 1, I believe, of DS9. A good O'Brien episode. Yeah. Just an episode of O'Brien being a nice guy.
Yeah. Of a species that's it's coded into them to be hunted.
Yeah.
So that's how it relates.
Yeah. And he I like the resolution in that episode. He helps the Tosk escape because he wants to, and it's also in keeping with maintaining their traditions, because it means that Tosk can maintain the chase.
Can be hunted for another day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we go through a lot of the references, like you say? there's a couple of references up top, and then let's do Mariner's stuff, like you say, and then we'll do Boimler's shit.
Yeah,
because the episode starts with a nice game of Batlets and Binocs.
Yeah, which it's like a cross between D&D, the Klingon Challenge VHS game that I thought the episode was going to revolve around. Wish it did it a bit. And Star Trek Adventures, which is the actual board game.
And so, like the game, Batlets and Binocs, Binoc being Klingon for coward. It's got J.G. Hertzler as General or Chancellor Martok, I guess.
Yeah,
probably General Martok for the purposes of the story. As like the dungeon master, an artificial intelligence that responds to what's going on in the game. Doesn't this look like fun?
It does. It does.
They've got to do it. They've got to do it now.
If you've got a super-powered AI, of course D&D nerds are going to do games using that AI where the AI is Dungeon Master. Everyone would prefer to play, that way.
Man, do you reckon that Paramount Plus is going to be able to pull their finger out enough to do like a Star Trek Bandersnatch with Batlets and Binocs?
No. At best, there'll be an extension to Star Trek Adventures for Batlets and whatever it is,
Binocs.
Yeah, we hear in it that it's not actually Martok as well. It's the Ferengi just make these for all the Klingon generals, and he's desperate to get the Gowron one.
It's an expansion pack. You got the Martok expansion pack. Before that, it will have been Gowron. Before that, it will have been Kempek.
Yeah. It would definitely be a game that I'd play.
I liked the costume pieces that they had, and it inspired.
Break out yours, come on.
Yeah, man. I cosplayed as a Klingon once. I'll send you a couple of pictures. You can put them up on screen. And this is I got this off Etsy. Look, you can see it's still got blood on it from my last campaign, from my last battle. So this was me when I was a Klingon.
A glorious battle.
Yeah, man. And here's my Batleth.
But it's also our first hint of what the episode, if it has a to me, and I say to me, but actually they call it out. So I'm not going to pretend I'm some sort of super intelligent person. What the episode meaning is in that Boimler in this first campaign they're doing takes the easy route, takes the less bold route, and ends up becoming a Klingon dentist, which is, dishonorable or not preferred, let's say.
Well, I mean, like the Klingons' teeth are all fucked up, so I'm guessing Klingon dentists do fuck all.
Yeah. Wolf was overjoyed getting that Ferengi tooth sharpener, so
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Also, we get like in this scene when they're playing their fucking Batlets and Binocs, we get dropped into our two main things. We've got Mariner complaining about Ransom, and we've got fucking Boimler discovering that one of his old friends has rapidly climbed up the ladder.
Yeah.
We'll talk about him and his fucking insecurities later on, though. Let's just get straight into what was Mariner's mission? What was their mission initially?
So Mariner's mission, they're around this planet. They're orbiting this planet that has an atmosphere that you can't transport down through. So they've got loads of space elevators around to get people up and down the atmosphere rather than everyone being on shuttles. And one of these is broken down. That's why some aliens are on board the ship, and they're going to repair this space elevator. orbital lift, as Ransom wants to say.
Well, he has to say, because they're not called elevators.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, as well as
British.
along with the metric system, in the future, they've also adopted the British term for an elevator, which is a lift.
Yeah, and they're right. Yeah.
So, but their mission is to, 1, fix this platform, and 2, do a cheeky bit of diplomacy.
Yeah, kind of like liaise on the planet side. And Ransom says to Mariner eventually, like, oh, I was just trying to make kind of like a bad decision, so you'd call me out on it and go rogue, and I'd be able to like call you up on it. So he's kind of sent the engineers down to do command stuff, and him and Mariner, the command track people, are doing engineering stuff.
I think this is a stupid call on Ransom's part.
Yeah,
there's a stupid call. He's saying just, I've got a feeling about this. Let's send the engineers down to do the diplomacy, and we'll do the engineering shit. Yeah. Hoping that Mariner's going to call him out. Meanwhile, Mariner's trying her best to be on good behavior.
I mean, he does win in the end. He just doesn't notice he wins.
He does kind of, but but only by doing the shit that he was supposed to do anyway.
Yeah. And he endangers the mission, nearly kills 2 of his crew members.
He endangers the mission. He's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
What's going down on that planet seemed a lot more interesting. Yeah. They have a sexy planet, like Angel One, and like the volcano god people from the TOS episode. Everything's all sexy. And their society is based around health and wellness. So we're on the fucking Gwyneth Paltrow planet. Yeah. We're on planet Goop.
I got a genuine laugh. I don't know about yourself, because last episode you were asking, did I find it funny?
Yeah.
That when you go down and there are a system of checks and balances where there's a psychic baby and there's a sentient computer and there's a talking volcano.
Yeah, man.
Well, this is convoluted. It's a set of checks and balances.
It's a set of checks and balances. Listen. It's not for us to judge this society.
Yeah.
But like they seem to have it all. Like by the looks of it, they're not wearing a lot of clothes and everyone's super healthy. They seem one with nature. They have a healthy attitude towards exposed navels.
Yeah. It's risking being biting social commentary as well. In a series of checks and balances for a government, but they all are messed up. That's the US.
Man.
The president, the House, and Congress, and the House. That's the US.
I mean, honestly, but like, would this be a better system of government?
Everyone seems healthy, happy, and sexy.
It definitely seems like a better governmental system than what we've got.
Well, yeah.
I mean, like, as long as there's consensus between the people, the psychic baby, the living computer, and the sentient volcano.
Yeah.
Harmony.
Yeah.
Seems like this was a much better system of government, and I think that we should start making moves to drift towards this style of government.
It can't be any worse than upcoming Liz Truss.
So. Yeah. Oh God, it's so going to be Liz Truss.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But that got a genuine laugh out of me, where it was like, we're a series of checks and balances.
Yeah, man. Same. That one did actually make me lol out loud.
Yeah. I think the resolution to that whole story, where Ransom's just like, your whole species about like wellness and health. Well, look at this, and just strips off. I thought that was a bit weak.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was funny when when he rips his shirt off and you can hear people in the background, and like the elder, it's one of the elders, is like, you truly are wise.
Yeah,
like his pecs like equate to his wisdom.
Yeah,
I thought that was fun. What did you think of the skydive gag?
I thought it was, as I say, there are a couple concepts they just breeze past very quickly. But I really like there being orbital platforms because you can't transport down to the surface. That makes so much sense, and I don't think it's something we've seen before. Obviously, it's a gag on.
It was in Foundation.
Yeah,
it was in Foundation, and I think
one
it was
of them
in
gets blown the fuck
yeah.
up. But like, obviously, we've seen it's mimicking the Romulan drill thing from Trek 09. But being an orbital platform that you're skydiving down makes so much more sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, none of it makes sense.
Well, it makes more sense than 09.
Yeah, but like it's I liked that she gets halfway down and she's got to run all the way back up. But like you say, they breeze past a lot of gags, and I feel like we spent a long time on that gag.
Yeah.
What do you
think? And then parachuting back down again, but like asleep after climbing up so quickly and being like,
Yeah, that was funny. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Like I say, like when this show doesn't fucking jam every second with references, it can actually be quite funny.
Yeah.
Some of the themes that come up through Mariner's storyline is a bit of a repeat of a theme that we had in last week's episode, which is this trust in the authority.
Yeah. I know you didn't like it last week.
And and I'm shown to be right in not liking it this week, I feel. I don't like that message. I don't like that this message keeps coming up. It's come up twice in this show. Last week, it was like trusting the authority and everything will be all right. And then this week, it's like trust in the authority figure and they might fall upwards and you might fall up with them.
Yeah, considering like the episode calls out being bold versus moderation. And it's just like,
I mean, maybe that is the message of the episode. Maybe
they literally call it out at the end of it.
Maybe trust in authority, maybe don't.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes being bold is good, as we learn through like Boimler's story, but sometimes you've got to be moderate about it. You can't just yes man your way through it. Yeah. And that's what Mariner is right in wanting to go down to the surface. Because
that's what they're supposed to do. That's what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Ransom has made a poor decision.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to call her out. But her doing it and breaking rank isn't great in a military organization, which they sometimes are. So it's like moderation. Like, is this a big enough thing that you're going to mutiny to do?
Yeah. I'm thinking that maybe the reason that like Ransom is maybe not going to be a captain anytime soon is because he doesn't have that captain skill of the teaching moment.
Yeah.
You know, he's not got that, like, he can't do Cisco doing, you know, that was your first mistake. What was your second? You know?
Yeah, the teaching moment comes from Tendi. Whereas when Mariner went to Ransom's quarters, there's space there to have a teaching moment, but they gag out. They use the gag that Ransom doesn't particularly care, and he's just like hyper focused on himself.
Yeah,
you know. So it could have been a double teaching moment, but Tendi can do it all.
Yeah,
because God knows she doesn't do anything in the episode.
Yeah, man. Well, I don't know. I would argue she has one of the more important roles in the episode.
She kicks off a story and then bookends the end of the story.
She
wears a towel for
yes, she wears a towel. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I am spoiled for sexy green ladies this week.
Yeah.
Woo! I don't know. But that's a good. I reckon that's a good segue. To go on to Boimler's storyline, which I thought was the more entertaining storyline this week.
Yeah,
for sure.
I much preferred Boimler this week, and I think it better highlights the message that they were going for.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Without it being authoritarian.
Yeah, man. But Boimler, I've got some anti-authoritarian stuff to say later.
Yeah.
Boimler, like, I loved the whole thing of the hunter race and him just like in an evolved society, where people are understanding and accepting of other people's customs, he just approaches some people and says, "Listen, I need help with this. Can you help me with this?
Can I hunt you?
Can I please hunt you?"
Yeah.
I love that, and I love that like when Boimler accepts it, and you know, he talks to the captain, and the captain said, you know, learns that Boimler's accepted it. She's like, "Don't get killed."
Yeah. Oh no, we had, you know, mimosas together. It was great.
Yeah.
He's a lovely fellow.
Yeah, man. From the captain's point of view, Boimler is a Starfleet officer.
Yeah.
But Boimler can handle being hunted.
Yeah.
Starfleet officers get hunted all the time.
Especially, you know, there's nothing saying that she doesn't know that the hunting is only catch and release.
Yeah.
You know, they could have talked about that over mimosas or whatever. And Boimler's just none the wiser because he just.
Well, they could have just mentioned it to Boimler. They just forgot to mention it to Boimler.
Maybe you want your prey to not know they're going to get released because they'll take it more seriously.
Well, the adrenaline gets the blood pumping, and that can flesh out the extremities, resulting in better quality meat. That's why I always tell people when I'm hunting.
When you hunt them, you hunt them down and kill them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm just going through some of the stills from the hunt. I like we've not even talked about the actual story of why he's doing the hunt. I love Cranch so much.
Yeah. Did you hear why what the name Cranch is?
Yeah, Cranch. It's ketchup and ranch,
which
is fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Maybe there are some more members of their race called Mayo Must and Mayo Q and Buffer Ranch. Oh my god, honestly. American, like my family is American, and like when I've been to America to visit, I'll tell you what, right? When people complain about white people food, in my mind, they're talking about two types of white people food. They're either talking about British food, which is like just meat and potatoes and like gravy and just stodge, just like undercooked bread soaked in gravy.
It's all one color. It's all, you know,
it's all just various shades of beige.
Yeah.
Or it's the American white people bullshit. So there's British white people bullshit and there's American white people bullshit, which is this fucking Cranch and Mayo Must. And like you see fucking videos on TikTok of people making fucking like lasagna out of like fucking packet mac and cheese.
It's or like, turkey in a can or tofurkey or stuff like that. Yeah.
I was in a Walmart and I found a packet of sliced meat and it just said meat.
Ah, yum. How
should we get some like what
do you want tonight? Meat.
I'll just have a few slices of meat.
Yeah. What type of meat? We've got steak in. No, I want
this
that
Crunch I don't like,
meat.
but this Crunch I like.
Yeah.
So fucking Boimler's got some like anxiety going on. He's feeling some low self-esteem going on.
Yeah.
What's the term for what he's feeling?
Crap.
Yeah, man.
Well, it's jealousy, isn't it? Of like
jealousy. It's feelings of inadequacy. He's got feelings of inadequacy. He's like I was worried at the start of this episode when he starts having this thing because I'm gonna get real. I'm gonna get real for a second.
Let's dim the lights.
Like I know how Boimler's feeling, man. You know, I'm turning 32 in December, and you know, I've seen people that I went to school with, you know, hit milestones in their life, it's easy to feel like you're maybe, you know, not measuring up to this this standard that you've decided is the standard. You've decided that, you know, in that moment, that person that you're comparing yourself to is now suddenly the standard by which you should be measured. And like, obviously it's completely it's completely subjective, and it's completely made up. It's a thing that we all do, but it's all in our heads. There isn't like an objective standard like that by which we should measure our progress in life. But fuck, it's easy to do. It's really easy to find yourself comparing yourself to others and finding yourself inadequate. You know, it's why fucking Instagram, like, it has been linked in studies to having the biggest impact on its users' mental health in a negative sense, for sure. You know, like,
don't
something like,
don't want it.
Don't, you know, something like, I remember, I can't remember the study, but there's a study out there that like focused on teenagers, and we're like, how does Instagram make you feel? And they're like, it makes me feel like shit, but I can't stop using it. I can't stop comparing myself to the accomplishments of others and finding myself wanting. It's too easy to do, but it's entirely in there. It's completely subjective. It's not objective. It's not a real standard.
We're all running different races.
Completely. I have to constantly remind myself of that fact. I really felt for him in this episode. And I think that his solution, while clumsy, you know, it's a good microcosm of it's a good microcosm of some good advice, which is, you know,
be ready to say yes to things.
Yeah.
Don't go into a situation that's negative.
Absolutely. If you're not happy with where you are, and if you can look at how you've gotten to where you are and point out where you've gone wrong, then that's the first step in making changes of changing the direction that you're going in.
And if you're in a rut, you know, as I say, it's the movie Yes Man, which is an okay movie for Jim Carrey, you know, modern day Jim Carrey, where he gets told to just say yes to everything, and it gets him out of a rut that he's in. And Boimler's in a rut, and he's never going to make command in the way he is. And he still realizes at the end of the episode, by doing things, you know, by being involved, by being in Springborn, doing choir and doing all this sort of stuff, by being a finger painting model, he gets favors from people, or he gets seen in better light from people. So getting out of your rut is good. Maybe just don't sign up to be hunted like prey, you know?
Nah, fuck it. That sounds fucking awesome. Like that haunted house experience I told you about.
Yeah.
I'll be hunted. I'd definitely sign up to being hunted.
Yeah.
I reckon I could.
I
reckon I could be hunted.
I'm sure there's experiences like paintball experiences where you could just sign up for, right, you get half an hour. We've got an acre of wood here. You've got a couple of acres of wood here. You've got half an hour. You need to not be killed within an hour.
Oh, no.
And get 10 people released on you.
Draw it out over a week.
A week?
Draw it out over a week. I'll fucking do that. I'll be hunted for a week.
They just show up to your work with like a spear or like a club.
I'll just tell work, like, listen, at some point I may have to very suddenly disappear.
Yeah.
They're just like, I don't know what happened to Ethan. He ran out of the restaurant, and like this guy ran through into the kitchen and out the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down for that. I know people. Yeah. I know people in various parts of the place. Yeah. I know people in America. I know people in Europe. I've traveled. I've got two passports. I've got two passports. I'm like Jason Bourne.
I do like the piece that gets like.
What have we got to say about fucking Boimler's fucking nonsense?
I do like the piece that like turns him round, which is running into the D&D Martok, who says like the only way you can lose is by letting the predator define who you are. So never back down, never cower, which I'm so sure would have been like never back down, never surrender.
Never surrender. That was a direct fucking Galaxy Quest reference.
Yeah.
For sure. That has to be. That had to have started as like
it's gotta be.
That had to have started as like a direct Galaxy Quest reference. And then I reckon they've chickened out.
They should have used it. It's not like Galaxy Quest didn't borrow from them. You know.
Exactly. But
just do tit for tat and gone like,
it's too obvious. It's like as if they have a fucking problem with things being obvious.
Yeah. And then he gets caught monologuing like he's the dude from The Incredibles and gets stabbed through the chest immediately.
Amazing. Yeah, his moment of like, the hunted has become the hunter. Honestly, have you watched Prey? Totally, let's non sequitur for a second, because this is obviously like, as much as it's a tribute to Tusk and the Hirogen, it's definitely it's Predator. Like, how good is Prey?
The marking on the head is the Predator.
It's Prey. It's Prey. She does it in Prey.
Yeah.
Have you seen Prey?
Yeah, I've seen Prey. Prey's so great.
Good. The actor that plays the main character in Prey, she was in the most recent episode of Reservation Dogs.
Okay.
She plays like a hippie chick, doing this like decolonization seminar for these kids on this Native American reservation. I love Reservation Dogs so much. It's an all Native American cast and all indigenous like production team and everything, and I loved that episode. It was interesting to see that like across cultures, from here in Britain to all the way in America to insular and you know, minority communities like Native American communities in Oklahoma, hippie chicks are kind of annoying as fuck. Like, and I would know. I spent a long time cosplaying as a hippie
in life.
I
think, you know, Prey, if it does absolutely nothing else, and it is a great Predator movie, but if it does nothing else, it's going to show undoubtedly why representation like at small levels matters. Because if 100%. that woman doesn't get like a decent acting job in a franchise, I'll be shocked off my arse.
That woman doesn't get
MCU or whatever.
Oh yeah, man. She could be Thunderbird.
Yeah, and why not?
Thunderbird.
I mean,
but they better not fucking kill her.
Yeah,
because Thunderbird was in one comic.
But you know, doesn't have to be. I mean,
doesn't have to be Thunderbird. No.
It shows why, like, I know Predator is obviously like, or Prey is taking off a franchise and doing something reasonably big with it. But if you've got lower levels of representation, then you find actors and actresses that you can go like, no, let's put them in this big thing. Let's do this with that actor and actress because they're a decent actor and actress. People like them. Let's elevate them up. And you know, she did that. She was great in it.
Absolutely. They did it with Echo. I don't believe that Echo was a Native American character in the comics, but the actor that they had to play her was Native American. They got a Native American actor to play her dad. He's also in Reservation Dogs.
Okay.
He plays the local cop. It's funny. He's a big conspiracy theorist in the show. It's very funny.
What's Reservation Dogs on for me to stream?
It's on Disney Plus. It's basic. Okay. It's like it's these kids that live on a reservation in Oklahoma, and it's just like the shit that they get up to, and you meet various different members of the community. And I watch it partially out of a sense of that generational guilt that I have because my family is from the American South. And from everything I've learned from my family history, a lot of them were bastards. So
in the South, who would have
thought? Yeah, mate. A lot of them were bastards, and some of them were cousins. And like so, a lot of listen is the American South deal with it. Why do you think I'm like this? I will add. I will even if I'm not enjoying something made by all Indigenous people, I'll play it in the background just to give them numbers.
Yeah.
Let's get back to Lower Decks.
Yeah.
In fact,
so
I think
yeah,
we
were talking about it being Predator, weren't we?
Yeah.
Anyway,
like you say, Tendi has the teachable moment
because she doesn't have anything else in the fucking episode.
No. And like neither did Rutherford really. Like we checked in with Rutherford, but everything Rutherford did was off screen.
But it's what I complained about last season, that it's the Mariner and Boimler show, and Tendi and Rutherford are guest characters in it, and I prefer, if I'm honest, I prefer Tendi and Rutherford to. If I had to pick Tendi and Rutherford or Mariner and Boimler, I prefer Tendi and Rutherford.
Yeah, I can see. Like, do you feel like they were kind of maybe trying to have a bit of a? I don't think that this is what was happening, but I can definitely predict that people will think that this might happen. Tendi, was there a bit of a thing with Tendi and Boimler going on then?
I've seen on the so I've only managed to watch the episode once, but I was watching it while reading feeds on it, and people were like, "Oh my god, she was sitting on his bed with a towel on." I'm just like, you can kind of tell, like some commenters that have only seen women on TV.
You've never had a flatmate.
Yeah, especially in like Star Trek times where like sex is a bit more open, and you're just like,
yeah, man.
I mean, come on, guys, you know.
Yeah, I hope that's not what they're doing. I think that was a kind of clumsy way to, if that is what they're doing, I feel like that was a clumsy way to telegraph that that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
Like I've had flatmates. Like I say, I used to live with a lot of hippies. I've painted my naked flatmates.
As you do.
We were on acid. Finger paints.
Who isn't?
It was a good night. It was a good night.
Do you think that this episode was minor course correction, or like character evolution for Boimler and Mariner? Because at the end of the episode, Boimler is still saying, "Oh no, I'll still be like bold Boimler," and Mariner learns a lesson that, you know, sometimes you've got to follow the rules. What a lesson! And not be so headstrong. Do you think this is like minor course correction or character evolution? Like next week when we return to them?
I feel like this is minor character evolution for Boimler. Course correction for this is course correction for Boimler, character evolution for Mariner, because Boimler already learned this lesson and was assigned to the Titan.
Yeah. And then got taken away from him.
And immediately regressed to an idiot again.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is maybe course correction so that we get you know, confident Boimler that got promoted again.
Yeah.
And character evolution for Mariner, because she's learning.
If I stop being my or try and stop being my least favorite of the main four.
Mike, were there any more moments that made you lol out loud?
One last one. In the final game of D&D, Klingon D&D, the Boimler's dishonorable death, where he demands blood wine when he's being bold in a bar. He gets his arm ripped off and he gets killed with his own ripped off arm, which is a dishonorable death because he died by his own hand. Definitely made me laugh out loud.
That's fun. Yeah. That's fun.
I did fun. Like that. And then he's still like, I'm still going to be bold.
What is your absolute favorite thing about the episode?
I think it's overall going to be the Klingon VHS D&D game, which I think could have been, because I was thinking that was going to be an episode in itself.
Yeah.
Like last week we were talking about, I was really looking forward to the Klingon VHS game episode. And that this is kind of it, and it kind of skips over them as a framing device. And you're like,
it's a great. Okay. It's honestly, they've got to do it. I'm telling you, Star Trek Bandersnatch.
Yeah,
Klingon Bandersnatch. That's what we want. Klingon Bandersnatch. Come on, baby.
I mean, what is Netflix doing? Like making like games where it's just Snake or whatever, when you could make games that are the VHS game of something.
Well, now Paramount Plus has got to do it.
Yeah.
So maybe one day when we're old men.
When we're old men.
For me, my favorite things have got to be Crunch.
Mm-hmm.
Crunch was great.
Yep.
I liked him giving Boimler notes.
Mm.
And I liked the inclusion of cetacean ops. That was good. Don't jump into
dive in
cetacean ops with your shoes on.
Yeah.
It's just rude.
Yeah.
So, overall lessons learned in this episode. Because you know, Star Trek, you've always got to have something to take away with you.
Yeah. What was your lesson?
I mentioned the recurring theme of trusting in the authority. Now, this episode did a good job of pointing out the flaws in that argument, and I just want to do a little bit more of that because the theme of last week's episode and one of the themes in this week's episode is what you would call a logical fallacy, an appeal to authority. Just because an authority claims such doesn't mean that what they are claiming is true. When people talk about science, when they reference science, they are not making an appeal to authority. They are referencing whole bodies of work that have gone into a conclusion. When a person of any structure of dogma points at a point of authority and says that this is right because that person says so, that is a logical fallacy. It's a fallacious appeal to authority. And like I said last week, that authority does not necessarily have your best interests at heart.
It might drop you in a volcano.
They might drop you in a volcano. But if that authority and a general consensus is met between that authority and other authorities and the people, then maybe you being dropped into that volcano was the right thing to do. But simply appealing to that point of authority for that decision is not enough. We must reach a general consensus. And that is the difference between a fallacious appeal to authority and referencing scientific method. Clumsy a bit, but I've had like 4 beers and a couple of joints. But you know what I'm saying.
I think I will borrow the same lesson of the film Yes Man, which this episode is, that you can say yes. You don't have to say yes to everything. You just need to be more able to accept the possibilities that fall on your lap.
Absolutely.
And I wish you would step down from this ledge, my friend. There, I reference a completely different film.
Oh, won't you step back from that ledge, my friend? We can
get tired with
all the things, with all the
living in.
And the I don't remember the words.
I only remember the bits that were in Yes Man. I quite like Yes Man, the film. It's not a good film. I quite like it.
It's a great film. I once tried the Yes Man challenge. I lasted less than a day because loads of people were just messaging me going, "Oh, let me fuck you in the ass," and "Oh, eat this dog shit I found." And
you can't tell people you're doing it.
Yeah, like I was trying to put the message out to get good offers, and all I got was like, "Come and help me steal something."
Not a good plan.
I was just like, Yes Man challenge activated. A few hours later, all right, enough of the Yes Man challenge. You're all assholes.
Yeah, but hopefully the people listening here, other than myself when I edit, will be more ready to accept the opportunities that lie on their feet from watching the episode, from watching the movie Yes Man, and from hearing us talk about the episode of the movie Yes Man.
Yeah, I hope you get the most from us talking bollocks. I feel like you would. I feel like people can watch various different mediums, but I think that the most that anyone can get out of anything is watching 2 nerds talk about it online. Live long and prosper, you dumbasses.
Peace and long life, double dumbass.